Hello, Internet. This is probably one of the strangest repairs I've ever seen. Repairs that I gotta do. Two things. Well, three. Customer said it's crashing, but I couldn't even get it to display. None of the ports seem to work. But the card is detected and the memory test is passing, and it can run as a secondary. Now, the other issue is, as if that wasn't weird enough, it runs in X8 mode. I don't know why. I checked the data lines here without this little tester. So we have all the X's basically, but it was only running at X8. I don't know if it's a problem with the riser. So I'm gonna go ahead, clean the pins here, wipe them with some alcohol. Who knows, maybe they were dirty, or maybe I got some dirt inside of the riser. You just never know, because it looks like all the data lines are there. The reading could be off. We're gonna wipe this on, and I'm gonna go ahead and plug this thing in straight into the motherboard instead of using a razor like I usually do, so that I can eliminate about a million potential problems. Some support on here, and somebody had already opened the card before, obviously, trying to figure out what the problem is. And so let's see if we can get a picture out of this thing. So the monitor does flicker as if, oh, that's a new development. The fans have now kicked in at 100%. And yeah, there's still nothing on the screen. So let's turn this off and let's go into Windows. Very interesting. The fans are now blowing at 100% when the card is in this orientation, whereas before it didn't do it. Now I wonder if I play around, with the slot. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I know what's going on. I think the card wasn't supported, and we have most likely several RIT pads under the core, some of which are controlling the signal for the fans, and some of which are responsible for feeding the signal to the display. What was another? Oh, wait a minute. Where's the GPU? Look at this. The GPU is no longer detected. Incredible. So it's not even detected anymore. Perfect. All right, let's shut this thing down. Well, that was definitely unexpected, and we're gonna run it through the razor because I want you to see what I'm dealing here with. In this orientation, there should be minimal stress to the back of the board. See what that does. So as you can see, the fans are not at 100%, but we're gonna wait and see if the card is still detected by going into Windows. I'm gonna go ahead and skip this real quick, and here we are. We are in Windows, and everything seems to be working just fine. Let's see. Yep, there's our 4080. The funny thing is that it doesn't tell me what memory type we have, but everything else seems to be showing correctly, and I can even run whatever I want. See, I can run FarmArk. We have our clock kicking up. Everything's looking great. The fans starting to work, though. Okay, yeah, everything is working. See this? Now what will happen if we're gonna do something stupid? And by stupid, I mean let's simulate the sag of the GPU by pulling it toward ourselves while it's running. Oh, there you go. And the fans maxed out. Okay, and the system froze. And that's basically what we're dealing here with. Alright, system woke up, probably lost the device, I don't know. So let's go ahead and wait for a shutdown. Alright, screw this. Okay, so we now know what's going on. A very common issue, people do not support their GPUs. And as a result, there's probably going to be RIT pads under the core. And but the surprising thing is that even the memory brand isn't registering, which is kind of strange. I wonder, that makes me think that the damage is going to be on both lower corners of the GPU die, because straps are on the lower left corner of the GPU die, and the fan controls are on the lower right corner of the GPU die. So, and also the fact that it worked in X8 is also probably because the whole bottom of the GPU die is also suffered some ripped or damaged pads, but we're gonna find out one way or another. The worst case scenario, I got this donor ready to go. Well, it's not ready to go, I still need to prep everything, but at the very least we have it handy. That donor board came from my donor board supplier. He accidentally sent that board instead of Supreme, so he ended up giving this to me at no cost, while he shipped the Supreme board shortly after. Okay, and this thing is a little bit dirty. I don't see any knocked off capacitors on the back, explaining why we had X8, not even a scratch in this area. So all the problems are most likely under the GPU die itself. So let's vacuum this. I like to do my work with a clean board. And let's take this thing apart, see what's underneath. And there we have it. Not a lot to look at, to be honest. Let's get this thing off. Oh, we still gotta do these screws here. There we go. Okay, so that will be it. The fan controls are linked to the GPU die right around this area here. The data lines are all going down in this general area as well, so I'm guessing we're gonna have problems, like I said, the bottom lower corner of the GPU die, as well as the memory configurations are configured here on the left, right next to the oscillator and by resistors, and so I'm guessing we have issues under here as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up the core from that TPM substance or whatever this thing's on there, whatever's on there at the factory, and lift the core and see what's going on. And now that I've seen that, I probably will not be able to use this donor board because this donor board is not 4080. This is a 4080 and the donor board is a 4090, so that's unfortunate. But whatever, it is what it is. If I need a donor board, I'll go ask my donor board supplier. So we'll see. I don't know if he's gonna have MSI, but he'll probably have Asus or something at the very least. In which case, it's gonna suck. Try to fix what we have first, and then we'll take it from there. This is the weird part. It's a 4080 and it's like 300 miles further away from the PCI Express slot comparing to, you know, a 4090, especially with having no memory chips here at the bottom. And yet we have this problem. So just, I don't know what people do to these cards. Install them into the motherboard and then they put some weights on top of it. Like, I have no idea. Alright, we're almost there. Take this thing off the board. By the way, I watched that laptop repair video last night where Black Horse Repair assisted him with the profile and whatnot.
That's what I'm talking about. Alright, now I'm ready to go. We have picture!
And I kind of got interested in that station, though I noticed one thing is that he had to have a temperature probe attached to the bottom of the motherboard, so that was kind of scary, but I went ahead and I ordered that preheating station, so I'm going to be doing a review of that eventually once I get it and see if it's worth buying or not. By the way, I got it, yeah, about the same price as he quoted, like $350. It was listed as $310 on the AliExpress, and then shipping it to the US, you know, taxes and whatnot. So there we go. Put that over here for now, and hopefully, well, you cannot see it, but I'm gonna show you what is it I'm looking at, and that is exactly what I expect. We got issues on both corners of the under the GPU die. These here have been detached but not ripped off, and you can see here that we have some pads. There's actually one rip pad there. See some pads that are refusing to accept the solder, so one way to do that would be to add a highly corrosive flux. Black Horse Flux is not gonna help you here because it is not corrosive enough, but this will. See, there you go. See, now all the pads have now accepted the solder, so we can move on assessing the damage on the rest of the board, and it looks like we may have 10 to 20 ripped pads or even more, who knows. Either way, this sucks really bad because even if I'm able to fix all those pads that have been lost, given the fact that this is how it broke in the first place, that repair is probably not gonna last, and the only way to make it last will be to replace the board, but we'll see because many of those pads are probably ground, so we may not even have to do all of them. We may only have to do like half of them. But all right, let's wick this off so we can finally see the true extent of the damage. I did tell the Black Horse guy to add more acid into his flux so that it can handle things like that, and he said he added about 50% more to the existing mix, and we'll see. I should be getting one syringe of that modified batch hopefully soon, because he is overwhelmed with the number of orders for whatever reason, I don't know. And let's go under a microscope, have a look at what we really have in here. Yeah, some of these pads are even no connect, so it looks like we'll have looks like 9 pads here. We're gonna have to check some other pads as well, and possibly actually thought I saw one pad that was bad on this end, but I'm not seeing it here. Yeah, looks like 9 pads total, but I don't trust this, so I'm gonna have to go around and see if I can break away any of the pads that may have become loose, and all I'm doing is I'm touching them with the hot soldering iron in hopes that they would just come right off. Looks like they are okay. All right, let's go over here. So we've got one pad missing. That's a no connect. So this one here, see, this is why I poke around, because this pad is definitely busted, and this one's okay. Okay, so it looks like the total of more or less 10 pads that we need to fix. Not too bad. I thought it was going to be much worse than that. We can definitely give it a try before we call it quits and have customer order a donor board. We might just get lucky today with this one. Who knows? All I can do is I can try. Alright, the reball is done. Just a few pads that had been fixed. Almost enough to decline the repair. Memory's good. PEX probably 1.8 or 1.2. Don't know which one's which. So we're good on 12. Good in here. 3.3. Alright, it's looking good. Check the data lines real quick. Not that it matters a whole lot. We've seen that thing show okay, but we're still running the card in X8 mode. That's because this tester, it just shows you continuity. It does not show you the reliability of the signal. So if the signal is poor or bad, it doesn't care. It's just going to give you a pass. We're pulling 1.6 amps just like I did before, and I don't know if this thing's gonna work or not. Hopefully it will. Otherwise, probably gonna need a donor board, but who knows? Maybe we get lucky today. This thing posts, that would be good. And it actually, oh, forgot to plug in the cable. Hold on a second. Should try it one more time. It actually might have problems with the memory errors on the nearby chips, but it looks like, yep, looks like it's posting, so we're good. So I was actually thinking that maybe we could end up having issues with this memory chip because it's so close to the corner, but it's hard to say. It seems to me as though this card was plugged into the motherboard like this, and it just kind of almost as if it was in the slot and it got bumped around the shipping box, and I don't know, hard to say, because usually when it's just sagging, it's usually just affecting this corner here, but in this case both of them were affected, so it almost seems like it was bent, you know, like this. I don't know, who cares? We got it working. That's all that matters. Let me go clean it up, put it back together, run a whole bunch of tests, make sure that everything's working and holding up, and that will be it for your entertainment today. So thank you for watching, have a blessed day, and goodbye.